What are you holding up to your customers today? Are you holding up a mirror of them, or are you blowing your horn and telling them all about you? What we want to explore today is how to create a mirror to your customers and so they can see themselves in it. If we wanted to hold up a mirror to the customer, we really couldn't do it the same way you would normally do it, in the sense of it had to reflect the customer's desire to be and what they were growing to. Every radio station needs to discover its D.N.A. in order to understand the fabric that makes everything about the station. Because the purpose is to create a customer, the business enterprise has two and only two basic functions, and we can translate this to the radio station, has two basic functions. Innovation and marketing. Innovation and marketing produce results. All the rest are cost. Innovation in your music, innovation in your messaging, innovation in your programming, innovation in everything you touch creates customers. And the goal is to create that loyal listener that comes back over and over and identifies with you. The goal is to move that customer forward along a continuum. So here we are in the world of customer loyalty, the world of tattoos, the world of embracing who you are as a part of the brands you choose. Very interesting enough, when someone puts out a tattoo of a brand on them, it's part of their identity. It's not just something that they're doing because it's cool, but it's something that you're creating as part of who you are, and it allows you to identify. Who would have thought that you could have sold a cup of coffee for $3.50 to Americans? Well, not really anyone, until Starbucks decided to make that a badge. Anytime you're holding that Starbucks cup, everybody else knows what you're holding, and that is partially what we're going to talk about. So the real questions that came along as developing the power of cold branding was, can my customers become loyal? The answer is yes. Loyalty is part of us, and we rather find someone we trust than not trust. Does it happen by accident? And the answer is no. You can develop affinities and you could develop trends, but true loyalty is a co-authored experience between the station and its listener. So it's not just a one-way street. It does not happen by accident. You have to have your eye on the customer. And can any product or service pull it off from the perspective of cold branding? And the answer is yes. And the evidence really comes from the fact of focusing on that loyalty of that customer. Why focus on that loyalty? Well, because it really makes you money. That's why. Loyal customers drive your sales. They bring forth a community, and that community is what embraces your stations. So here we have a tale of two cults, one benign and one destructive. The important thing to realize is that the motivation factors, the human psychological factors that create one, are exactly the same that create the other, because we are people and are wired all the same way. And this is the group behavior that we see expressed in civilizations throughout. And as we see our wiring throughout time, we begin to see how our connection to that which we are, humanity itself, is what pulls us together. People who are affinity to developing loyalty towards groups simply want to improve their lives and the lives of others. This is because the feelings of belonging and social interaction cannot be replaced in the human heart, and to build communities is what we're here to talk about, which I think it's what radio is all about. Radio is about bringing communities of people, of like-minded individuals together in a single group. The more you understand that group and the behaviors of that group, the more you're able to embrace them as a group. And this is the experience of co-authoring with your customer. Many adults today are overwhelmed by the confusion and apparent coldness of our society, the senseless violence, the rampless hopelessness, the lack of meaning. Many mature adults are finding less and less to hold on to in today's techno culture. So again, this is an opportunity for radio brands to build affinity with a group of loyal customers. And as we can see, Abraham Maslow supports the statement by saying, today we live in the widespread valuelessness. In our society, people have nothing to admire, to sacrifice themselves for, to surrender to die for. This gap calls for filling. Perhaps even it may be an instinctoid need. In other words, meaning it's instinct-like. Not meaning that the person chooses to want to be part of a group, but they have to be part of that group. The feelings of belonging beside our own best judgment drive us to do crazy things like get married, join a church or a bowling club. But either way, these feelings are such a part of us. And those customers, as in radio you guys call them the P1s, are attracted to this magnetic field, you can almost say, that is your brand, the essence of who you are. While working on Live 88.5, we knew that the customer's affinity was to the moment of now. Their value was now, so the whole campaign revolved around the central point, and all the music being programmed was thought out as a soundtrack to someone that lives in the now. Notice that this is a backwards way of thinking of your programming by thinking of your listener first. This is one of the classic programming tricks. Figure out one person, as Steinbeck would say, and write the whole book for them. Create your station around a single listener.